And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
Oh, thank you so much. Welcome to the show. Michael Emdy in the house, Massive IT. Brian Frias, ShivWorks Concept Jiu-Jitsu, self-defense expert coming up, as well as Andrew Kube, all things business loans and 100% financing for owners out there for business loans. We can definitely help you with that. US Commercial and Business Capital. Great lineup for you today on the Consumer Quarterback Show, per usual. Always helping you win in any marketplace, making you just a bit more street smart out there, and over 11 years on air now. Real proud of that. We do have our monthly gratitude party. This is a business mixer. You are invited. Everybody out there is invited. You know, it really makes our day. I had a couple calls from radio show listeners yesterday. One was looking to sell his house, want to get a value on it. The other was asking a question, you know, hey, if I've got to do some repairs in the home, it was something about a subflooring remodel. Should I pull a permit? So, I reach out to my network. We get these questions right back, these answers back to your questions. 813-917-1894. Call or text anything you want to know on the real estate side, reverse mortgages, estate planning, tax planning, so many different ways we help you on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thursday, March 20th. 6 o'clock. That is our next gratitude party. Dave, tell them a little bit about our party coming up, man.
Absolutely. Like I said, it is March 20th at 6 p.m. 1513 Lake Tarpon Avenue in Tarpon Springs. Tarpon Turtle is a fantastic place to go. The food is fantastic. Of course, appetizers are going to be provided by the MVP team, of course. And you said it the best. Everyone gets together there. It's just a fantastic time. It's where you let your hair down, get a little bit more conversation going on than you normally would over here at the radio station, of course.
Yeah, that's right. You can bring your questions. You can bring business needs. We have business owners that have come to the parties before and we said, hey, how can we support you? I remember texting some of our attorneys right there on the spot, like, hey, here's a process serving company. This seems like a nice couple, help them out, right? So come on out and join us. That's going to be Thursday the 20th, 6 o'clock, Lake Tarpon Springs. You're going to be at the Tarpon Turtle. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. You're right on the water. You definitely have that Florida vibe there. You've got the lakefront. We're going to have a boat there as well, pontoon boat. Come on out and enjoy a little booze cruise. Are we allowed to say that? I don't know, maybe. Yeah. So come on out. Thursday the 20th, 6 o'clock. Tarpon Springs, Tarpon Turtle will be there. That's our gratitude party. Every third Thursday of the month, we're hosting a business mixer happy hour type party as well. All right, a couple of hot listings. My wife Lindsay and I like to feature our real estate properties live on air. Our whole team, we've just got such a great team over there that does a great job bringing in new listings, working with buyers, working with sellers, investors, and also helping on the refinance side as well. If you're looking to refinance and take out mortgages, we can help you with that as well. Let's start with a commercial property this time, Dave. We're going to look at the 10129 Little Road. This is a beautiful property, great opportunity for a business owner. If you have a business, this one is operating and it's set up currently. It has all the ADA compliant entrances. This is 10129 Little Road, Newport Richey. Shout out to Dr. Paul and his team, Vicky, at the chiropractic office there. High visibility on Little Road. Convenient access to State Road 54, Highway 19, Suncoast Parkway. You have 2,337 square feet, over an acre of land, and you have an office. Yes, we list commercial properties, residential properties, vacant land. We can help you sell your businesses. We got a new one coming online this week as well in Ocala. That is currently operating as a hardware store with some land behind it and some other rentals. So great opportunities here in beautiful Tampa Bay. This one is on Little Road, Newport Richey. All right, here's a residential beauty, 221 Howard Drive. Gorgeous estate-style home. Excellent location. You're right on Bel Air Beach. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot single-family home. Exclusive Bel Air Beach location. Gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances. Saltwater pool. You have 100 feet of water frontage on deep water access to the Gulf of America. Have a pause there. Historic Howard Drive boasts one of the highest land elevations in the area. 1 block from the beach. 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. This is God's country. All right, Michael Emdy, welcome back, sir.
Thanks so much. Yeah, you don't want to get your federal funding. pulled for that Gulf of Mexico.
I know. Well, that's a tech issue too, right? I think
right.
Google says yes. Maps still hasn't switched to Apple Maps or whatever. Yeah. Is that still the way it is?
No, it's all switched. Apple acknowledged it. Google's acknowledged it. It's kind of humorous that other countries like Mexico and others are like, you can't call it Gulf of America. Why not? Like, you don't have to. Just don't call it that. Call it whatever you want.
Well, I got to play this clip because it's
Gulf of Switzerland.
I got to play this clip because it's called Trump winning the internet here.
This is the #1 trending video on all of TikTok.
Online.
I think we're back, boys.
Trump
right now, not in a very good position.
Going at it. You're not
You've
in a good
allowed
position.
yourself to be in a very bad position.
You don't have the cards. You don't have the cards.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now.
Yeah, so they don't have the cards. We do, right? We have Google, we have Apple, we have some of the biggest companies in the world. Yeah. X, I mean, you name it. Facebook, Meta.
Yeah, what do you care what America calls it, right? Don't call it whatever you want. Who cares?
I mean, at the end of the day, it is between North and South America, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. There you
Central
go.
America, North America, South America.
Good point.
Just saying.
Good point.
It's just funny. Just call it whatever you want.
You know,
hey,
Switzerland. And you can call the tech space. I'll call the tech space very confusing right now. I mean, especially for seniors. Think about people, our age plus 20, right? I mean, not growing up with computers and PCs, et cetera, right? But it's confusing. I mean, where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the crypto world and start talking about that? That'll confuse some people. You want to talk about AI deep fakes? That'll confuse people. And you deal with this every day, Michael.
Yeah, every day. And keeping up with it is difficult, even for people in the space like me, right? It's a lot to keep up with. Every single day it changes. And it used to be the old adage of when Intel first started, Gordon Moore coined the term, Moore's Law, which technology doubles every 18 months.
Right.
And that's been true, right? His phrase, his terminology, it's held true. Now we're getting to a point where I think it's speeding up.
Yeah.
And trying to keep up with the pace of change. And the real impact, I think, is it's not just technology anymore. Now it's social. Now it's economic. Now it's, your groceries. It's your money. It's your bank. It's how you do things every day. It's your daily routine that's impacted. And trying to keep up with it, right?
The ripple effect.
The ripple effect, right? Is that the butterfly effect? What do they call that? I forget what
butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect, right?
Okay.
The ripples,
Chaos theory.
Chaos theory, yeah.
Okay.
And that's super difficult. So if you're having struggles keeping up with it, if you're on the struggle bus to get there,
yeah,
don't worry about it because everybody is.
Yeah.
Everybody is. And you just have to do your best to keep up with it.
Yeah, sure. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Michael, Emdy, MassiveIT.com. He's our local business owner, support the local economy. He's our local tech expert, all things tech related. And what kind of concerns me is I saw, in a lot of different areas, we fell behind these other countries with our previous administration, how terrible they were with so many different things. But that's what scares me is when you think about, is China, how far is China ahead of us? Are we close in that realm, right? And then the unknown, the fear of the unknown, EMP attacks, all of these different things that could affect us.
Well, I think it's true in life of anything that if you don't keep up with the maintenance, with the innovation, the changes, and take care of business, right, for yourself or anything else, right, your home, your family, your business, your job, anything that you do, it's going to fall behind and get dilapidated and fall out of repair. And the world, America, the country is the same thing. If you're not keeping up with what's going on, then it's going to fall behind. And that's kind of where we, may have come from a little bit, and that we didn't have focus on these things, and other countries are, right? Everybody wants to get ahead. There's always competition, in life, in business, everything you do. And we definitely need to keep up with that. And I think there's some things that we don't know about behind the scenes that, we didn't just stop doing everything.
Right.
But it wasn't publicized. And there's a lot of things that I think Trump is bringing to the table that he's highlighting and doing and being a lot more transparent about it as well. So definitely, we're catching up, or we're staying ahead. I don't think we're upside down.
So if I'm a business owner out there and I'm a mid-sized company and I'm wondering, hey, what are other companies doing? What can I do to benchmark against my competition? What are some of your best, consumer tips there?
The biggest thing you can do is the security. We were just having a conversation about getting hacked, right? SIM phone swap on your cell phone happening. Security, how do you protect yourself, right? Multi-factor authentication or two-step authentication, where you get a code to your phone or you get an authenticator app on your mobile device, right? Having some protections in place. If you think that a password is enough you are sorely mistaken, and it's just a matter of time, not if, but when you get compromised.
Yeah, especially if you use the same one across a lot of different platforms.
100%, right?
Yeah.
This, in the old days, like you said, us plus 20, right? Well, that makes everybody maybe 35 in my book, right, for me, but I don't know about you. But, in the old days, a password was all you needed, right? And, you made your password the same across everything so you could remember it.
Yeah.
Today, password managers are a necessity because passwords these days need to be, 10, 12, 14 characters long. And are you going to remember something like that? And they say there's tricks to it, like, you can use a sentence or something like that and then add some numbers and some punctuation and things to kind of shake it up. But still, that's difficult to remember, for all the accounts because everything has an account, right? Log into our account, join our rewards program, get our app, do this, do that, right? Yep. How many accounts do you have?
Yeah, just what I need is another password.
Just a few dozen, right? Or more likely 100 or more, more likely, right?
If you break it down.
Because everything you touch wants your phone number, wants your address, wants your name, wants your email. Log in, change your preferences. Do you want to be notified? Let us send you some emails. Let us send you some texts, right?
Yeah.
It's all out there, and you have to keep up with all that. So a password manager is critical. So passwords, two-step authentication, and trying to minimize your footprint, right? Don't sign up for everything, right? Is your wife like mine? Is she on the couponprinter.com?
Uh-oh. Okay.
Does that freaking browser extension show up in every computer that you own and every mobile device that you have?
Like the Honey extension?
The Honey extension, all of these things show up, right? Get a deal. But guess what? They're not free, right? They say they're free, but they're not. Yeah. And why are they not free? Because they're getting your information, your data. And what do they do with that information? They sell it to a data broker.
Right.
Yeah.
And the data broker then sells it to somebody else. You ever wonder why am I getting these texts? Why am I getting these? I didn't sign up for this. Because your information got sold to a data broker who sold it to somebody else who's now marketing to you.
Yeah, exactly. You see that happen all over the place. You see it in a lot of different places, man. So Trump did come out and say that he wants the United States to be the crypto capital of the world. What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's about time. The crypto market, like it's the wild west. It's a new frontier on the digital and technological front because we talked about things are changing, society, social, economic. This is one of the economic factors that is changing, and you need to be aware of it. Now you say, well, what is cryptocurrency? Well, cryptocurrency is just a money, right? Same as the dollar, same as a quarter, a nickel, a dime, or a penny, right? It's the same thing. But the question is, well, which one? There's so many. What are they? Yeah. What's Bitcoin? It's Bitcoin, right? Cryptocurrency. No. Yes. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Is one of them. There's Ripple. There's XRP. There's Solana. There's ADA. There's HBAR, Hedera, Ethereum. Right. The list goes on. Dogecoin. Right. There's dozens, hundreds of cryptocurrencies out there, and they're all vying for the fact of we want to be the gold standard. Right. We want to be the one. Right. There can only be one. And the problem is each technology has its pros and cons. Some need to be highly transactional, right? Because you can't just go buy a stick of bubble gum at a gas station with Bitcoin, right? If you think you're going to walk in and pay Bitcoin and walk out in less than 10 seconds because you bought a pack of gum, not going to happen, right? Now, you could go pay for your mortgage or buy a car with Bitcoin. Tesla takes Bitcoin and Dogecoin. You can do that because those transaction times are a little bit longer, but you don't have to just, how long does it take you to buy a car and sign all the paperwork, right? In that time frame, that transaction clears, and now you've bought the car. But if you're going to buy gas, not going to happen. Ice cream cone, not going to happen, right? So you're looking for a cryptocurrency, or they are looking for a cryptocurrency. If you're old enough, remember VHS and Beta?
Oh, yeah.
Which one was better, technically?
I'm not sure about Beta, but VHS.
Beta was better.
What is Beta?
Top loading VCR.
Yeah.
Top loading VCR. Okay.
The technology that they used to record the video onto the tape was Betamax, right? And technically, it was better technology. It was a better product, a better thing. But VHS 1, right? So we all call it VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Right? We don't call them Betamax tapes. They're all VHS tapes, right? VHS 1 because it was to market first.
Yeah.
And because it got brand recognition and got traction and boom, off it took. even though beta was better.
All right, let's take a quick break there. More with Michael Emdy coming up, massiveit.com. He's our tech expert. Support the local economy, supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, and all of our great expert contributors that you hear every day here, 4 o'clock drive time, 860 The Answer. Got our weekend show, 1025 The Bone. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel out there as well. YouTube, Consumer Quarterback Show, Rumble channel, at CQB Show, at BrandonRimes1. And thank you so much for supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Ryan. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, ConsumerQB.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. That is my direct cell. You can call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at ConsumerQB.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here. Quick shout out to our friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties, residential, commercial properties. Reach out to leesroyalservices.com. leesroyalservices.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. And that's on the interior. On the exterior of the property, you also have Heights Soft Wash, pressure washing company here in Tampa Bay. HeightsSoftWash.com. Ramin is the owner there. Commercial, residential properties as well. Cleaning the exterior. HeightsSoftWash.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, a couple of hot listings here. We like to feature our properties on air. Helps our sellers sell faster for more money. We got a beautiful property at 8107 Sierra Manor Lane. Beautiful listing. Great property here. I love this. One of my favorite listings. 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, 2-story single-family home. You have a private community here, gated community with only 3 houses in there. You're on the waterfrontage. You got 130 feet of private water frontage. Beautiful pool, beautiful spa. Just a gorgeous backyard, heated in-ground pool. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest at 8107 Sierra Manor Lane in Tampa. Another one of our beautiful 60-plus real estate listings here in Tampa Bay, featuring our listings on air. 10711 Old Sycamore Loop. Here's another beautiful listing here. We got a large backyard at this home, so perfect for a family. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 46 square feet, single-family home. All appliances are included. You got stainless steel appliances, lighter color kitchen cabinetry there, and a beautiful lanai as well. 10 by 16, large backyard, community pool, zero depth entry in the pool, playground, hiking trail, and more. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Michael Emdy is in studio with us. He's our tech expert, all things tech related. And Michael, when you hear about these different scams, people are getting scammed in so many different ways. Could be a text message, could be an email, Facebook Messenger, so many different ways. But then you also have the video, which makes it even scarier. Some of these new AI fakes are hard to decipher.
Yeah, the attackers, the scammers, they're holding all the cards. They're holding all the cards, right? Like what I did there.
Like the bingo cards?
Yeah, so they have all these tools, right? And something I was just thinking right as you were introing that is I was thinking, there's another new tool out there where they can put anybody's face on your face, right? You can take anybody's body, put their face on it, and then when you're talking, it articulates like it's talking, and it looks like the same thing. And it's not the old school, like we just, like a late night TV show where they just stick a face on, you know, and they're like, make the mouth move. I mean, it's the real deal. Yeah. I saw something where they put Taylor Swift's face on, like this little girl's mom, right? And then they did like a FaceTime video, and like the little girl was freaking out because Taylor Swift was, talking to her, sort of thing. I don't know if that's cruel and unusual punishment or not, but besides that. There's these tools. And the other tool I was thinking of is now agents, AI agents. And what is that? An AI agent is using artificial intelligence to automate tasks. You're making things accessible. It's not just like ask it a question and get an answer. It's give it instructions and turn it loose so that it can do things. And they're taking phone calls now, and AI is answering the phone call, taking the voice, converting it to text, analyzing the text, and then a response, and then putting that back to a voice. And so you have, a receptionist essentially.
We got that. We got that. We're putting a lot of that in our company.
Yeah. So it goes further because now the AI agent can not just take phone calls and give answers. It can now take action, look up information, log into an account, make changes, do all these different things, right? Yeah. And so these agents are being leveraged. So the attackers are holding all the cards because are we all as a society, at to your point, our age range, right, plus 20, are we used to these sorts of things? You know, when we pick up the phone and call somebody, we think, well, I'm not falling for the text message or the email scam. I'm not falling for that. I'm going to pick up the phone and call. I'm going to get somebody on the phone. Guess what? That may not be anybody on the other end of that line, but a robot, right?
It's becoming more and more.
You got to call corporate. You got to make sure you have the right corporate number. Look them up, and
so
especially if it's
video fakes, voice fakes, obvious text messages, emails, websites. Everything is becoming faked, and how do you navigate this landscape? It's really difficult, and so you have to start paying attention and keeping up with what's changing, and everything. You look at social media, right? The posts are faked, right? The posts are automated. We have automated posts. You probably have automated posts, right? And it's relevant content for what we do in our business and our industry. But the attackers are using it the same way to pretend to be your friends, to pretend to be a legitimate business, and take advantage of you. So they hold all the cards right now.
Yeah, exactly. And I know Melania Trump was at the White House yesterday or the day before, and they were talking about some of these really vile and rude ones that get put up, dealing with naked big bodies and things, to be able to take them right down immediately. What is that, like an agreement between ISPs or something, internet service provider?
Yeah, it's filtering, it's content censoring, things like that, right? And that's a gray area because everything that's built from a technology standpoint is built by smart people for legitimate things or innocent goals, but ultimately people can take advantage of that and use them in ways that they shouldn't, right? And censorship is one of those things, right? It's meant to take down content like what you described, but it can also be used for, censoring political and other content that shouldn't
nefariously,
be. Nefariously, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's abused, right? And it's always something that happens.
All right, Michael MT, massiveit.com, massiveit.com. He works with local businesses, even just homeowners, people that want a little bit of help on their PC system. Instagram, Massive IT. YouTube, you have a Massive IT channel as well. How else do you want people to connect?
Sales@massiveit.com, or you can call us at 813-518-5454.
All right, sales@massiveit.com. Michael MD, always a pleasure having you in. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure. Hey, coming up, we're going to talk a little self-defense, ShivWorks, and concept jiu-jitsu. Brian Frias here in studio with us, coming up here in just a moment. We're going to talk with him and also planning an event with him as well. We're going to do a self-defense clinic out there. So stay tuned for more information. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. We'll talk about 100% financing for businesses out there. And going to talk with him here in just a moment. Before we do, I want to let you know about the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly wait staff. And you got to check them out. They're right there at the International Plaza Mall. Make sure you let them know Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives. And they have a great chef back there, Chef Oscar Ramirez. Talk to Chef Oscar. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. A couple of hot listings here. You know, we like to feature our real estate listings on air. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, of course, we would love to talk to you and share with you on how we help our sellers win in any marketplace. Our buyers are also winning out there. And, of course, great rates on our refinances. We have some of the best programs throughout the state of Florida. We got a beautiful property here. This one's 1318 Roosevelt Drive in Venice, Florida. This one's down in our southern listening audience. Roosevelt Drive, Venice. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,853 square foot. Beautiful single-family home here in no HOA, no high HOA. You got no or CDD fees. You have close proximity to the Gulf of America there as well. Less than 3 miles to Minnesota Key. Open concept with luxury vinyl flooring throughout, wood beams, soaring ceilings. I love the vaulted ceilings there. Stone fireplace, large bay windows. 1318 Roosevelt Drive in Venice. Beautiful property. Check it out. Beautiful kitchen upgrades, stainless steel appliances. Great opportunity to purchase real estate on the Florida Gulf Coast. All right, we got a property at McKeithen Road. Yes, we sell vacant land. We sell commercial. We sell residential properties. This one's 5 acres of land. McKeithen Road, Dade City. You're close to I-75 and Ocala and Tampa, quick access there. You have attractions like Croom Wildlife Management Area with Lacucci State Forest, hiking, fishing, horseback riding, water-based adventures as well on the with Lacucci River Park, providing kayaking, canoeing, and small boat launches. Check out McKeithen Road, Dade City, 5 acres up there. We got multiple parcels of land. If you're thinking about buying land or selling land, of course, we'd love to talk to you. Reach out to the Consumer Quarterback Show, and you can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's go to the phone lines here. We got Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital. Welcome back to the show, sir. Andrew Kube, welcome back to the show, sir. All right, looks like we may have lost him. So I'm going to go to my story here. This is an interesting story, sticking with the real estate theme. 5 questions to ask a seller's agent. Okay, so this is right out of Florida Realtor Magazine or Tampa Realtor Magazine, one of the two there. But 5 questions to ask a seller's agent. It's very important when you're hiring an agent. First of all, that you're not working with a buyer agent, because sometimes I'll hear people say, "Oh, well, I'm working with my buyer agent from last time. They're going to help me sell my house." 2 different skill sets. Okay. 2 completely separate, different skill sets. The buyer agents are skilled and trained and working with buyers and finding out those underlying needs and wants, doing that needs wants analysis, structuring deals, and fair amount of negotiation. But a listing agent is completely different. Number 1, it says here, are you a realtor? Okay, the realtor, not just a real estate agent. And why is that important? Well, those who are members of the National Association of Realtors bring experience, education, and ethics to the table. And then NAR also has a recovery fund, too, in case something were to go squirrely with your transaction. There is an actual fund that is available there as well. Number 2, questions to ask a seller's agent, a.k.a. listing agent. What services do you offer? Most agents will have a long list, all they do for the sellers to facilitate the transaction. And that's going to get into the marketing strategy, right? The marketing strategy is by far one of the most important areas when you're looking at choosing a listing agent. And you want to think about the marketing strategy, what's all included. And with us, of course, we feature all of our listings live on air on our daily talk show in ways that no other real estate company can do. So we're going to help you maximize the exposure and the profit with our talk show. Yeah, so we feature multiple real estate listings, and our highest duty is to get the sellers maximum exposure, which leads to a maximum profit and a shorter marketing period, and also less headaches. Of course, today's market, a lot of properties are sitting on the market much longer than they normally would. Number 3, questions to ask a seller's agent. How well do you know the local market? Okay, that kind of goes without saying almost, but yeah, you want to know the area. You want to be understanding the the different festivals, the days on market, things like that. So, for example, here's Hillsborough County. Let's look at Hillsborough County stats. Here's some of the latest stats out in Tampa Bay. Hillsborough County, non-distressed, simply meaning that it's not a short sale, it's not an REO. You have roughly 5,900 active listings right now in Hillsborough County. Out of those 5,900, how many sold? That's the question, right? That's how we come up with our absorption rate. Well, there was 1,069 that sold last month. Divide those numbers, that gives us an 18% absorption rate. The absorption rate is simply how fast the properties are selling off the market. Once they're on the market, how quickly is that inventory being absorbed by the current buyer pool? And if you divide that out, that's a 5.5 months supply of inventory, okay? 5.5 months supply of inventory, that is a balanced market, okay? You're right in the middle there of what we call a balanced market. And that's a new high, by the way. 5.5 months of inventory is a new high for the last several recent years. And if you go back to March of 22, there was only 1,118 properties available for sale. That's, again, Hillsborough County, non-distressed, March of 22, 1,118 properties available for sale. Again, that current number is 5,900. So I know it's a little hard to do math over the radio, but if you take 5,900 minus 1,118, that's a difference of 4,780. Okay, so 4,780 less properties or more properties on the market today, and that means 5.3 times more active. So the buyers today have roughly 5 to 6 more options than they did back in March of 22. Okay, let's go back to our list. 5 questions to ask a seller's agent. What will our listing contract include? Okay, what's in that contract? How long are you signing me up for? What is your percentage commissions that you charge, your fee for service? That's a good one. How will you determine a suggested price for my home? Another major area of concern for sellers is, what is the accurate price for my home? How did you arrive at that number? Well, we complete a comparable market analysis is one of the things that we do at the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And, of course, most listing agents will do that as well. You're going to complete a comparable market analysis, and that's going to get you your suggested price for the home. All right, so when you do that, also, here's something to think about. Sometimes agents will come in with a really low, really conservative number, and they'll really want to get that sale quickly, right? And then some agents will do the opposite. They'll come in with a higher number, especially if it's a competitive situation, and they'll say, oh, let's offer a higher number, or I'm going to list your property at a number that just kind of knocks your socks off. You're like, wow, that sounds really good. I would love to get that. I'm going to go with that agent over the other agent who may have been more realistic. And then what happens is that agent, every 2 weeks, she's begging you. They're asking you to get a price improvement. They're saying, hey, we need to drop this price, drop this price, drop this price. So that's what they do a lot of times is they'll come in with that higher number just to try to play to your ego a little bit and make you feel, oh, yeah, that's the agent I want to go with. And then ultimately they're coming down and just constantly asking for that price improvement because they didn't price it right properly. And that is a despicable practice we call buying a listing. Okay. So I'm told that we have Andrew Kube back on the phone here, US Commercial and Business Capital. Andrew, welcome back, sir. No, we don't Okay, I thought we did. Okay, so how does that strike you, Dave, when you think about real estate questions and that whole line of questioning there? 5 questions to ask a seller's agent. Mm-hmm. Do those seem like good questions, or would you have come up with something different?
Well, yeah. Well, my question I was going to ask you is, how often do you run into people who actually price their homes emotionally, saying it's this much because they added things to their home, which really doesn't increase the property value, but they just have an emotional attachment to it.
Yeah. You hit one of the hottest buttons in all of real estate right there.
Because I did that years ago.
The emotional, right?
Emotional pricing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Most sellers have owner's pride. They feel like their home is worth more because they know how much they put into that back lanai when they laid the concrete and all the stories.
Sweat equity does not turn into actual equity.
Yeah, in most cases, you can't dollar for dollar for sure, right? You can't expect a dollar for dollar. And each market's going to be different. There's going to be trends, but yeah, that's one of the biggest things. That's one of the reasons why I like commercial real estate a lot. Is that there's less emotions in commercial real estate. It's a lot more
very black and white.
Yeah, it's a lot more like factual. Hey, what are the incomes here? What's the revenue producing? What is the upside of this property versus the others? So so you think about that. What else comes to mind when you think about real estate today? I like to, because I'm in it every day, and sometimes I just make assumptions. I'm like, oh, well, most people think this, or most people know that. But what are some typical questions that you may get from a kind of a lay person, someone that's not in real estate, every single day like I am?
The first part is trying to understand, because of not originally being from Florida, is the flood zone issues.
Okay.
Because, of course, insurance is a big thing right now.
Yes.
So when I'm looking at flood zones over here in Palm Harbor, and it's like, oh, it's a 0 flood zone issue. But some people are like, yep, they can go ahead and ask the same price, and it is a house that's already in a damaged area.
Yeah, flood-prone area.
Flood-prone areas.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a confusing area, too, because especially close to the coastline, you have what's called a velocity zone. I mean, because when those storms come in, and they don't just stop once they get over land.
Right.
I mean, they do tend to lose traction and lose that velocity and that strength because they're not fueling from the water. But yeah, I mean, those flood zones can extend well into the state, and I think a lot of times now, FEMA, the NFIP, which is the National Flood Insurance Program, they've all kind of said, hey, look, they kind of grown hip to the trend, right? They see all these storms hitting, and they say, let's increase those. Let's take them further inland. And I think they're requiring. I mean, a lot of counties or writers are making people have flood insurance in areas where they wouldn't have in the past, just on the side of safety.
Right.
And if you're elevated, and let's say you're in the middle of the state over there towards Orlando or Groveland or Claremont, some of those areas are like right in the middle of the state. You think, oh, I couldn't be better positioned for a hurricane here, right? Some people still buy policies anyways, because for like $300 or $400 a year, you can have that peace of mind in case there were a superstorm. Like, remember New York?
Right.
Superstorm Sandy?
Absolutely.
That was a big event.
No one would have ever expected to have all that water go through the town as deep in as it actually did.
Yeah.
No one would have ever expected that.
And because it went on into New Jersey, too, if I recall.
All the way through New Jersey.
Right? So that's a superstorm that affected a lot of people. So, yeah, the great question, when you think about insurances, taxes, and especially flood, it gets confusing. And people don't really know a lot of times what's in their policy. So that's one of the most boring things to think about, right? Is what's in my insurance policy? Right? You want to go to sleep, you're having trouble sleeping at night, pull out your insurance policy,
right? Start
reading that. But yeah, it's important to know, especially when you kind of in this adulting phase as we are nowadays, right? We're adulting now. We have real bills. We have these different ideas to think about. But yeah, it's always interesting to see what those questions would be, from a kind of a layperson's, to finalize these questions to ask a seller's agent. There's a couple more. It just talks about how will you market my home. I think we kind of talked about that. How do I attract potential buyers? What do I need to do to get my house ready for listing? Those are some of the the basics. Keep it clean. Declutter. Make sure you declutter is a big one.
And that's where you kick in with actually having staged houses, like staged to sell, Natasha Sanderson, stuff like that.
Natasha Sanderson. Yep.
That's when they come in very handy at that point.
Staged to sell, especially if it's a vacant property. A lot of times when I'm looking at expired listings and canceled listings that were on the multiple listing service and they didn't sell, it's a vacant home with cell phone pictures. Some of these agents out there still using cell phone pictures instead of turning the camera, real quick little small tip here. If you turn it this way, it actually looks a lot better than if you have it upright. So I guess it's landscape versus this or whatever they call it. Just doing the basics. But staging a home will help that property sell faster, for more money, less days on the market, and it's going to be a win. And I think right now, when you look at inventory levels, you look at days on market, we're kind of in a sweet spot here, because as we get further into spring, I think we're going to see a feeding frenzy. We're going to have more properties coming onto the market, and then you're going to have more activity, of course, as well. So right now, buyers can win because they can go in and negotiate really good deals. And we would love to help you if you're buying, selling, or investing, looking for insurance policies, refinancing your mortgage. So many different ways we help you here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you may need it. 813-917-1894. 813-917-1894. You can call or text that hotline. And we're going to take a quick break and be right back here more with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at BrandonRimes1 at CQB Show. And we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian, conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent.
Yeah, Brandon, I can hear you. He's still on the line, though, if you want to still take him.
And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well.
Yeah, I know. That was on my end.
Grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also a business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back here, Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to go to the phone line now and see if we can get Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
Hey, Brandon. Good
yes,
afternoon.
sir. All right, 100% financing for business owners. What a heck of a deal, man.
Absolutely. We're helping business owners out every month with their purchasing of commercial real estate and getting out of that lease.
Yeah, it's a big win, when you think about it. And I've heard you say it before, but I want to hear it directly from you because you do it so more articulate than I do, about the SBA setting aside something like $5 million for business owners out there.
Yeah, so whether you're looking to start a business, buy a business, grow your existing business, or franchise, the SBA has set aside $5 million for your business. And if the businesses are unrelated, actually you could have $5 million per business. It used to be $5 million per person. Now it's $5 million per business. So if you have businesses that are not related and you're allowed to use up to $5 million. And that can be used to, for any equipment that you need, working capital to be able to run the business. You need rehab to the property that you're buying. even if you have high interest rate business debt out there, you can consolidate that into the purchase of the loan as well. So potentially you can buy not only the real estate for no money down, but actually get money in your hands to walk away with at the closing table to help grow the business.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when you have a business owner that is paying rent year after year after year, Andrew, and I'm sure you've seen firsthand, so I'd like to hear it from you, some of the stories that you have because you think about leaving a legacy for your children. You think about building equity, I mean real equity in your businesses. You think about the many advantages, tax advantages, and others.
Yeah, so I had a dentist come to me a couple years ago. I always use this because it's a good example. He was paying around $10,000 a month in rent, so he'd been there for 5 years, so he'd already paid out $600,000 to someone else's mortgage. And he said, Andrew, I need to start putting this money back in my pocket. And so we were able to buy him a property for no money down for $1.5 million, based off of how much he was paying in rent and the profitability of his business. But in addition, because he qualified for more than 1.5 for no money down, we did a loan for him for $1.9 million for no money down. 1.5 to buy the property. Then he needed $200,000 in dentist equipment, the newest and greatest equipment that was out. He wanted $100,000 in working capital, and he had a high interest rate business credit card that we consolidated for around $100,000. So we did a loan for $1.9 million for no money down. Well, he calls me back 8 months later and said, Andrew, I'd like to do that no money down loan again. And I said, well, I bet you would. I said, but since you own the real estate now, it's going to be 10% down for your second location. He was looking to start a second location. So he found a property for $1 million. He said, can I still get the $100,000? I needed working capital and $200,000 in equipment. And so we did a loan for around 1.3. He put 10% down the second go around for 130, but he walked away with 300.
Yeah, that's amazing.
He said, I'll call you back in 8 months. I'll be ready to do it again. So that dentist can go from a renting situation to owning the real estate. And then if he wants to expand that business, in Tampa Bay or in the state or in the country, he can do it, and he can get more money back every time based off of his projections of his business and why he needs the money. And so, yeah, that's what I do. One of the many things I do is I help business owners expand their businesses by taking them from a lease situation to a situation where they own the real estate, where they basically get the tax write-off. They put the money back in their pocket opposed to giving it to their landlord. And, now they're building something for the future. I had a client that was 55. I asked him, what's your plan in 10 years? And he really didn't have one. And so, I said, well, do you want to be like 80% of the people out there that shut their business down at retirement? Or do you want to be one of the 20% where you actually can sell your business or leave that business to your family as a legacy, your children if they want to run it, et cetera? Or you can, own the real estate, sell the business, and lease the real estate out. I mean, there's so many different options. But it just gives you another avenue of retirement. As a small business owner myself, we work, hours and years to try to grow a business. And if the end result is just to shut it down, then, I think we owe it to ourselves to think a little bit bigger. And so the money's out there. A lot of people don't know that the government has set aside this money. And so whether you're a startup out there and you're looking to start a business, and you have experience, and it's smarter to buy the real estate at the beginning of the process, because everything at that point is based on projections.
Right.
So if anybody's starting a business and you can own the real estate, it's the best way to do it. Somebody comes to me and they said, Andrew, I need $300,000 to start my business, and I'm leasing the space over here for $7,000 a month. That's on a 10-year amortization when I do a loan for $300,000 for that client. If they come to me and say, hey, $300,000 to start my business, and I need to buy this property for $700,000, as long as they operate half of that property for their business, they're allowed to rent the other half out. That's something to know. But back to the point, $1 million If you own the real estate, it's based off a 25-year amortization. So once you look at the payments, it's always smarter to own.
That's right.
In 90% of the situations.
That's right. Andrew Kube, U.S. Commercial and Business Capital, uscbcapital.com, uscbcapital.com, and also on Facebook.com as well, USCB Capital. Andrew Kube, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Brandon. You guys have a great day.
Hey, likewise. All right. Hey, another great show. We want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894.